Yazoo Malagedo. Welcome to the Malaka podcast. Joe Pesci.
What's really funny is the fucking bank job away in Sea Caucus. I'm in the middle of the fucking weeds, laying down. He comes over, he says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm resting." "Here you resting?" "At a fucking beach in a park." I said, "I'm resting." "I know I'm resting. They pull me in, they start giving me all kinds of questions, this and that. He says, "Oh, so what are you gonna tell us, tough guy?" I said, "My usual, zero, nothing. I tell you, the fuck." He says, "No, you're gonna tell me something today, tough guy." I said, "All right, I'll tell you something. Go fuck your mother." Bing, pow, boom. You saw the paper thing, my head was up like this. So now I'm coming around, I start to come out of it. Who do I see in front of me? This big prick again. He says, "Oh, what do you want to tell me now, tough guy?" I said, "Bing, what are you doing here? Did I tell you to go fuck your mother?" I thought he was gonna shit. Ow, Bing, oh, fuck is... Hey, I wish I was big just
You're funny. you're really funny.
What do you mean I'm funny?
the story, the way you tell the story.
What do you mean the way I talk?
It's just the way just the way you tell the story.
Funny how? I mean, what's funny about it?
Tommy, no, you got it all wrong.
Oh, Anthony. He's a big boy. He knows what he said. What'd you say?
Right.
Funny how? What?
Just the way you say. First off, I just want to say that I'm aware I'm a big boy. Okay, I got a little bit of a weight problem. I'm aware, so you don't have to cut that deep. But just the way you say it.
You mean, let me understand this, because maybe it's me a little fucked up, maybe. Well, I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you? I make you laugh? I'm here to fucking amuse you? What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
Just the way you tell the story. Like a Martin Scorsese movie. You tell a good story. Like a clown. Like you said before.
No, I don't know. You said it. How do I know? You said I'm funny. How the fuck am I funny? What the fuck is so funny about me? Tell me. Tell me what's funny.
Get the fuck out of here, Tommy.
You motherfucker! I almost had him! You stuttering prick! Frankie, was he shaking? I wonder about you sometimes, Henry. Your life falls under question. What the fuck is it with you? I thought he was getting pinched already. He's hanging on my fucking neck like a vulture, like a tending thing. What do you want?
This guy's worried, but I didn't want to come over and get a good check,
Wait.
You could take care of it.
Yeah, it's no problem. Don't put it on like that. Of course.
That's what I want to talk to you about. It ain't just this year. It's 7 fucking big ones here. 7 fucking G's you owe me. $7,000. I mean, ain't peanuts. I don't mean to be out of order now.
You don't mean to be out of order? Jesus, good you don't mean to be out of order, sonny. You call embarrassing me in front of my friends, like calling me a fucking deadbeat, sonny, you're a real fucking mutt. You know the money we spend in this fucking...
Come on, don't be like that.
What do you mean don't be like that? I think this is funny, huh? What the fuck are you looking at? Fucking moron. You don't want to bring me check. You believe this prick? You're supposed to be doing this stuff too,
You know what? You're a funny guy.
That's it, Henry. Hey, you want to laugh? This prick last week asked me to christen his kid. $7,000 I charged.
You really are funny. funny guy. And scene. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't tell you how much Goodfellas means to me. But because of this man, Mr. Joe Pesci, he made this movie so much better. A scene like that, that's what got him the Academy Award. Apparently, the scene was mostly improv. A lot of this movie was improv. But again, we're going to get into that in a little bit. But unfortunately, we just lost Ray Liotta. I did a podcast about him, and I figured, you know what? A lot of people have forgotten about Joe Pesci and the impact he's had on the movie world. So, if you guys don't mind, it would be my honor to talk about Mr. Joe Pesci and what he means to me and what he's done for cinema. So, if you guys don't mind, without further ado, I'd like to go on Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, and tell you a little bit more about Mr. Pesci. I mean, like, again, I know Goodfellas is supposed to be like a serious movie and all that, but I don't know. Like, at this point, I just watch the movie and laugh. I mean, like, it is what it is. I mean, like, even I'm rewatching this scene, as I was doing that. I mean, there's a woman like in the background just like gripping her chest, and and like there's a bunch of guys laughing in the background, and $7,000 for a christening. I mean, it's a little expensive, but at the same time, I think it's worth it. So, but again, I don't mean to amuse you. I just want to provide a good podcast. So here we go. Joseph Frank Pesci, born February 9th, 1943, is an American actor and musician. He is known for portraying tough, volatile characters in a variety of genres and for his collaborations with Robert De Niro and Martin Scorsese in the films Raging Bull, Goodfellas, Casino, and The Irishman. He also appeared in Once Upon a Time in America, Moonwalker, JFK, A Bronx Tale, and The Good Shepherd. His comedy roles include such films as the first two installments in the Home Alone franchise, My Cousin Vinny, and the Lethal Weapon franchise. Pesci won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his role as the psychopathic gangster character Tommy DeVito in Goodfellas, and received 2 other nominations in the same category for his portrayals of Joey LaMotta and Russell Bufalino in Raging Bull and The Irishman, respectively. He announced his retirement from acting in 1999, but has appeared in 3 films since then. He is also a musician who has recorded 3 studio albums: Little Joe Sure Can, Vincent LaGuardia Gambini Sings Just For You, and Pesci Still Singing. Ladies and gentlemen, grab your cigars, grab your cognacs, and sit back and enjoy.
My chérie amour, lovely as a summer day. My chérie amour, distant as the Milky Way. Chérie amour, pretty little one that I adore. You're the only girl my heart beats for. How I wish that you were mine.
2 things. 1, Stevie Wonder is still getting paid. And 2, I had no idea Joe Pesci could sing. And he actually does this as a duet with Adam Levine, that we all know from Maroon 5 and being one of Jonah Hill's best friends. Now, again, multi-talented guy, all right? Singing, the acting, what more do you want? And we're still scared of him, Okay, he has that tough presence, not even on screen, but in interviews as well.
And there was some, there was some guys with girls there and everything, and the girls were saying hello, and the guys were saying, the girls said, "Oh, that's Joe Pesci." The girl said, "Oh," and the guy said, "Oh, what wise guy, what good fellow. I give him a slap." Oh.
He even had to swear on Letterman. I mean, telling stories about him playing golf with Jack Nicholson and Dennis Hopper, and I mean, it's fucking nuts, man. But he's a cool motherfucker, man. Just smoking a cigar. Remember, you can smoke on TV. Nobody gave you shit for it. Fuck, you can't even smoke on planet Earth anymore. The point is, Joe Pesci's a cool dude. And if you guys don't mind, I found a few facts about 5, 10, 15, 20 facts about Mr. Joe Pesci from 80skids.com. Give him a shout out. Why not? A couple people listen. And here we go. Robert De Niro accidentally broke Pesci's rib while filming Raging Bull. Listen, if I'm working with Robert De Niro, he could break my head in two. I don't give a fuck. Mortal Kombat, fatality style. I don't give a shit. It's an honor. Pesci was injured while filming Martin Scorsese's Raging Bull when, in character, co-star Robert De Niro flung him through a glass door and stamped on him. It should be stomped, right? Yeah, stamped on him? I don't know. Is he a fucking letter? No. Who cares? It's Bobby D. He can do what he wants. With a little too much gusto, breaking a rib. Scorsese kept the scene in the final cut because of Pesci's realistic, pained reaction. If you watch the scene closely, you can see Pesci wince and groan before the shot quickly cuts to another angle. De Niro had been in training with the real-life Jake LaMotta to prepare for his role. So perhaps he underestimated his newfound strength when shooting the scene. Coincidentally, De Niro ended up breaking the exact same rib 15 years later when he and Pesci were shooting for 1995's Casino. Pesci took it all in stride, quipping that great movies mean cracked ribs. You can't fault his decision. Again, listen. I'm a proud half Italian. Any chance to work with Martin Scorsese, you got to take it. Okay? If you get injured, it doesn't matter. You just sit there and take it. That's it. It's all part of the realism, guys. That's it. Joe Pesci knew that. That's what makes him amazing. That's it. Beautiful head of hair, too. He nearly was cast as Mushu, the dragon in Mulan. Pesci is renowned for his tough guy persona, which is why it's surprising that he was in the running for the role of Mushu, the dragon, in the 1998 Disney film Mulan. Mushu was initially envisioned as having a split personality, and producers suggested that two actors could voice him. Pesci was meant to voice Mushu's dark side, while Richard Dreyfuss was to play Mushu's more light-hearted side. But once Pesci started working on the movie, directors Tony Bancroft and Barry Cook decided they wanted to scrap the split personality idea. I mean, it's a Disney film. It's not the Goodfellas Part 2. Steve Martin, Sinbad, Chris Tucker, Chris Rock, and Drew Carey were then weighed up as options for Mushu. Ultimately, Eddie Murphy landed the part, while Mark Mosley voiced Mushu in the sequel, Mulan 2. It happens. It's hard to imagine tough, stony Pesci voicing plucky, excitable Mushu. So perhaps the directors made the right call there. I've never seen this movie, so... He once gained 30 pounds for a movie. then quit and sued the production company for $3 million. Pesci was famously tempted out of retirement to star in The Irishman in 2019, but he'd actually been working on a film called Gotti back in 2011. Pesci was meant to feature in the film a biopic of gangster John Gotti. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to lie to you. I said John Gotti. On this website, it says John Gatta. Wow. Also known as the Teflon Don. At least I got that right. Alongside John Travolta. Oh, what a shitty movie. Travolta was cast in the leading role as Gotti, and Pesci was set to play Gotti's friend Angelo Ruggiero. Thank God. The real-life Ruggiero was a lot bigger than Pesci, so the dedicated actor gained 30 pounds for the role. Pesci's part in the film was then stripped back a lot, and then the actor was placed on a reduced salary. Not a good move. Pesci was not happy. No shit. The actor quit and then ended up filing a $3 million lawsuit against the producers. The case was settled out of court. The film was eventually released in 2018, but flopped tremendously. I mean, it was actually directed by the guy from Entourage. I swear I'm not making that up. It grossed just $6 million against a production budget of $10 million, and is one of the few films to hold a 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't invest in a lot in Rotten Tomatoes there because it's owned by Paramount. So. Again, I love Paramount, don't get me wrong. They gave us The Godfather, okay? The show is out right now called The Offer. It tells the whole story of how they made The Godfather. It's a great TV show, and you have the chance to check it out. But at the same time, you guys always know I like to go on IMDb because I like actual critics, to critique these movies. So, but yeah, this movie was just absolutely horrible. Thank God Joe Pesci was not part of this piece of shit. It was god awful. He got entangled in a murder for hire case involving his ex-wife. After her split from Pesci, actress Claudia Haro married Hollywood stuntman Garrett Warden. The two were married for 2 years before splitting in 2000. Then on the 20th of May in the year 2000, Warren was shot by a stranger at the front door of his home in Westlake Village, California. He survived, but lost his right eye. The investigation into the attack went unresolved for years. The police stumbled across vital evidence during a drug bust years later and found that Haro had hired a hitman to kill her ex-husband. Witness implied that Pesci had actually paid the hitman himself. Police then interviewed Pesci and even searched his property, but found that he was innocent. Haro, however, was sentenced to 12 years and 4 months in prison in 2012. She has since been released. Wow. Now, apparently, guys, this is the woman that was in the movie Casino. I remember when Robert De Niro's character had a TV show in Las Vegas, and he had an announcer there who was a female, assistant there, kind of a co-host kind of thing going there, and this was the same actress. So, yeah, man, think about that next time you watch that scene. Again, it's just cheaper to get a divorce. He turned down his role in The Irishman 40 times before finally accepting the part. Why? Given The Irishman's star-studded cast and its unique position as Scorsese's swan song, it's hardly surprising that the film was resounding success. Initially, however, Pesci was reluctant to get involved, having announced his retirement from acting in 1999. Scorsese pleaded with Pesci to work with him one last time, but it was De Niro who ultimately persuaded his friend to sign up for the film. Thank God. Bob and Joe, they have their own language, Scorsese told Entertainment Weekly, reflecting on how Pesci came on board for the film. Pesci was reportedly approached 40 times before he finally conceded and agreed to take the part. Due to their advancing ages, The Irishman is said to be the last time Pesci, De Niro, and Scorsese ever worked together. Oh, God, don't say. Listen, I know realistically it probably is, but I don't want to hear that out loud. It's like saying that they'll never make another Outkast album. I know more than likely it won't happen, but we don't want to hear it. Okay, still the image of that Childish Gambino, feels like summer. The image there, where they're not facing each other. It still haunts me. I did a whole podcast about it. The point is, I hope that's not true. I hope one day they will work together again, just again, one last time. But again, this was a great movie. Again, we'll get into that in a little bit. He was the catalyst for the formation of the Four Seasons. I've heard the story before and I still don't believe it. Pesci was childhood friends with singers Frankie Valli, Nick Massey, and Tommy DeVito. And in 1959, introduced them to singer-songwriter Bob Gordo. The four men went on to become the Four Seasons, with Guado writing almost all of their most successful songs. Pesci remained fierce friends with the group, and his Goodfellas character was playfully named Tommy DeVito as a result, although the character's persona was not based on the real Four Seasons band member. The real Tommy DeVito tragically passed away in September 2020 after contracting COVID-19. He paid tribute to his lifelong friend, saying, "I always remember him for his great voice and for the character that he was." Pesci's instrumental role in the band's formation has never been forgotten. He has his own character played by Joseph Russo in the 2005 musical Jersey Boys, which documents the group's inception and rise to success, and even joined the rest of the band on stage during the curtain call on the show's opening night in New York. That's crazy, guys. I honestly had no idea. I never saw the show Jersey Boys. I always heard it was pretty good. I did see the movie though, with directed by Clint Eastwood, and yeah, there's a scene where they, where he introduces the all the band members together. I think at the time Joe Pesci was working at a bowling alley or something like that, and it's just crazy. I think about the guy Joe Pesci was the one who introduced all these guys together. So thank God. And by the way, Frankie Valli, I just want to say you're awesome, and I loved you in Sopranos. He accepted his Academy Award with one of the shortest acceptance speeches in Oscar history. Again, look at that beautiful head of hair. I love it. When Pesci's name was announced as the winner of the Best Supporting Actor Award at the 1991 Oscars, surprised, but belated, he turned to kiss then partner Claudia Haro and made his way to the stage to accept the award.
Well, it's my privilege, thank you.
That's it. I mean, that's how long every speech should be. You go up there, you take the award. I mean, it's fucking 4 hours. I mean, and I'll tell you something else. If Will Smith ever pulled that shit against Joe Pesci, ooh, phenomenal. It was one of the shortest acceptance speeches in Oscar history. When asked why he said so little, he confessed that I really didn't think I was going to win. Goodfellas was nominated for a total of 6 awards that night, including Best Picture and Best Director. However, Pesci's award ended up being the only win for the film. Goodfellas did not win Best Picture. Goodfellas went on to win 5 BAFTAs the following year, and in 2000 was selected for preservation in the National Film Registry due to its cultural impact, but did not win Best Picture. Raging Bull didn't win. Goodfellas didn't win. He filled up his swear jar on the set of Home Alone in a single day. No shit. Given the numerous children on set, director Chris Columbus, that's a cool name, had swear jars for the older actors while filming Home Alone. Fuck you. Columbus had instructed adult cast members to use the word fridge whenever they felt the urge to swear. But whenever bad language accidentally slipped out, offenders were required to deposit change into their personal swear jar. Pesci hardly look at the way they word this. Come on. I know you're 80s kids, but come on, learn some fucking grammar. Pesci's hardly one to mince words. There you go. See? There you go. My mom's an English major. Don't worry about it. Reportedly filled up his swear jar in a single day. Yeah, he probably owed what, 1.3 million? He wasn't the only one who struggled. Apparently, co-star Daniel Stern also had a hard time keeping his language PG. I swear to you, the first time I saw the poster for Private Parts, which is the Howard Stern movie, I swear to God, I thought it was actually Daniel Stern. And I thought he let himself go, but I'll get into that another time. As swearing was off the cards, Pesci's Harry Lyman, how do you say that word? Lyman? Lemmy? Instead, fuck off, mutters gibberish under his breath whenever his plans were thwarted. That's a new word. Pesci drew inspiration from Bugs Bunny's notorious adversary, Yosemite Sam, when it came to perfecting this cartoon cursing. Yosemite Sam. I hate you. Goodfellas' funny how scene was inspired by a mafioso Pesci met while working as a writer. During rehearsals for Goodfellas, Pesci shared a memorable story of his time working as a waiter before he made it as an actor. He recalled how he had once served a made man and praised his sense of humor, which, unsurprisingly, didn't go down well. The real-life mobster reportedly started grilling Pesci, repeatedly asking him, "How am I funny?" Exactly as Tommy DeVito does to Henry Hill in Goodfellas. Scorsese was keen to include lots of improvisation in the film, and so called on Pesci to help craft the iconic "You think I'm funny" scene after hearing his antidote. Scorsese purposely kept the frame wide and didn't do any close-ups when shooting the scene so as to better capture the reactions of the other actors. Only Scorsese, Pesci, and Ray Liotta, who plays Henry Hill in the movie, were in on the plan. So everyone else's reaction to Pesci's manic outburst is wholly authentic. Love it. One of the best scenes in movie history. And it was improv. How great is that? His Home Alone hours were changed to fit around his golf schedule. He likes golf that much, eh? Shit. Pesci is a huge fan of golf and was delighted that there was a golf course near the Home Alone set. He was less delighted when producers assigned him a 7 a.m. call times, not because he was averse to an early start, but because he'd been looking forward to playing golf before starting work on set. Pesci pleaded with producers to let him have a few hours to play golf in the morning. He managed to persuade them to push his early call time back to 9 a.m. And there's a nice picture with him, Sylvester Stallone, and my uncle. Andy Garcia. I'm sorry. Pesci has a handicap of just 15.9, whatever that means, and came in at number 62 on Golf Digest's list of Hollywood's top 100 golfers. He regularly plays with fellow actors Andy Garcia, who came in at 17th on the same list. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I could never get into golf. I just couldn't do it. I'm pretty sure the last time I played golf was in August 2001 when I went to Atlanta. You should have seen this course. It was built in like a neighborhood. You literally had to drive on the road, like with the golf cart to cross the other way. It was a whole fucking thing, and I'm sure people's windows were broken all the time. And then at one point, what was it? I don't know. One of the guys were pissed off because I went off the course, whatever. Literally took the keys out of the thing, and then my uncle, it really did look like Andy Garcia. I'm telling you, like at the time he didn't have the mustache. With the mustache, it's like Pablo Escobar, but like without it, forget it. It's Godfather 3. But this is actually entertaining. So he actually went up to the guy and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, your kids went, off the thing there." And then as my uncle's talking to him, he's like, "Hey, just, let's just talk this out, whatever." As he's saying that, he's literally grabbing a club, and then he like puts it right beside him. And the guy goes, what are you doing with that club?" And then my uncle goes, "Don't worry about it. Just give him back the keys." They gave him back the keys. It's fucking hilarious, man. But again, most Italians we don't like violence. We just like to talk things out, and just let us play golf. That's all. He modeled Lethal Weapon's Leo Getz after an annoying Disneyland employee he once met. In Lethal Weapon 4, Pesci's character Leo Getz has a grating habit of repeating the word okay. Okay. See, again, I mean, if Chris Rock went on stage with Joe Pesci there, forget about it. Interestingly, the shtick was based on an irritating Disneyland employee whom Pesci had met when visiting the theme park with Mickey Rourke. Fuck, dude, this guy knows the best fucking people. Like, I mean, first of all, I just can't picture. I just picture Joe Pesci like arguing with a fucking guy in like a Mickey Mouse costume. I mean, oh fuck. And then Mickey Rourke was there too. Fuck, that guy's two badasses. Fucking awesome. When the actors approached the employee for help, the young man allegedly kept saying okay between giving the two actors directions. Pesci borrowed this quirk from the Disneyland employee when figuring out how best to portray Leo. And director Richard Donner, who I always forget, this dude directed the Superman, the good Superman movies. The Richard Donner cut of the Superman 2, that's by far the best one. But anyways, he loved it. Pesci recalled the incident when speaking to Empire in 2012. Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons were singing at Frontier land. So Mickey and I stopped to ask for directions from these blonde-headed, blue-eyed kids. Shit. And then the first word out of the kid's mouth was okay. Then he hit me with about 12 more. No, okay. We thought it was really funny. So there you go. I mean, when you're paying $38 for a sandwich at Disneyland, you should at least get a good roll out of it. He was in the same rock band as Jimi Hendrix. Wait. What? No. In the early 1960s, Pesci was part of a popular band called Joey D and the Starlighters, who were the in-house act at a Manhattan venue called the Peppermint Lounge. Though not exactly a household name, the group had a fair measure of success, and their song Peppermint Twist hit the top of the charts in 1962. When Pesci drifted out of the band in the mid-60s to pursue his acting career, a young man called Jimmy James stepped into to take his place. He toured with the band briefly before changing his stage name and starting a new band of his own, the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Pesci briefly entertained a solo music career of his own, releasing an album titled Little Joe Sure Can Sing under the stage name Joe Ritchie. Suffice to say, Hendrix might have had a touch of more success than Pesci when it came to breaking into the music industry. Holy shit, that is fucking crazy. I never knew that story. Well, I think it worked out pretty well for both gentlemen. There's some kind of rumor out there, and again, this is just shit I heard, that apparently, Jimi Hendrix met way back in the day Katy Perry's mom, and in the 1990s, Saturday Night Live launched a segment called The Joe Pesci Show.
Joe Pesci!
In 1995, Saturday Night Live launched The Joe Pesci Show, a sketch which featured Jim Breuer as Joe Pesci, reimagined as a talk show host. Breuer's character was modeled after Nicky Santoro and Tommy DeVito, Pesci's roles from the films Casino and Goodfellas, respectively. Whenever a guest came on to the show, Breuer, in character as Pesci, would inevitably take offense at something they said and proceed to beat them up. Notably, Breuer's character would usually refrain from attacking guests of Italian descent, which is actually a rule in real life. In 1997, Pesci appeared as himself on the show, asserting that he was nothing like Breuer's portrayal of him before proceeding to beat Breuer with a baseball bat. Robert De Niro appeared in the same episode alongside Pesci and assisted him in attacking Breuer and his co-host, Colin Quinn, who occasionally appeared on the show as Robert De Niro. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I remember watching this skit live, okay? Very long story short, okay? Which means it's going to be a little long. I was visiting my grandpa at the nursing home, okay? We were it was just me and my dad. I think my mom came later on. And then we saw him and he was outside and he kept pointing at something. I don't know what the fuck he was pointing at. And he kept just pointing underneath our car. So we thought, again, I'm Italian. I'm thinking Godfather, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the shit's just gonna explode one day. And I mean, it was a Tempest LE, so eventually, yeah, it was. But so then my dad backed up the car and he found this little TV, and it was a little portable TV, It got only 5, 6 channels, but it was great. Didn't have a TV in my room, but late at night I was able to watch certain shows. And of course, you go to bed early on a Saturday night, because I'm a nerd. And, I got to watch Saturday Night Live. And I remember watching this episode. I always enjoyed when Jim Brewer, was on the show. That Goat Boy, very funny dude. If you see his stand-up online, really funny as well. He's got great stories there. Just overall, really funny guy. Very underrated dude. Especially the shit about his father. I mean, it's fucking great. If you ever listen to him on Howard Stern, too, he's really great on that. But anyways... So I was literally about to change the channel because usually, it's like, that's it, from the Joe Pesci show, whatever. And I was just about to push the button to go to the next station. Then all of a sudden, Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro show up. The crowd goes wild. I mean, it is fucking awesome. Keep in mind, guys, this is before the internet where, okay, nowadays, no one really needs to watch Saturday Night Live. I mean, you could just catch the shit later on or watch the episode the next day, whatever. But this is a huge deal. I mean, it's, right after Goodfellas, Casino, all that. I mean, it's just fucking awesome. So to see these guys do that, and it was funny too, because they kept making fun of De Niro's character, just not saying much, and a little bit, whatever. And of course, De Niro didn't even say anything. And Jim Brewer also made a mention saying that this is the first time that Robert De Niro ever did anything live on TV. I'm not sure about Pesci, but. Yeah, so at the time, and even De Niro didn't even, he wasn't even quite sure, if the show was live or not, and, he just wanted to show up there, help his buddy out, of course, why not, that's awesome, so, and of course, his character didn't say much either, right, so just to, play on to the fact, he's not just a one-dimensional character, and here he is just, acting almost like Charlie Chaplin with the, the Goopaline hat. And it was funny. I mean, they beat the shit out of him after, and it was fucking awesome, man. I mean, I did not see that coming. So another millisecond, I would have missed it. So it's not like you can go on YouTube today and just catch it quick. So I mean, that was pretty awesome that they did that, because you always hear about these guys. They're not. They only take things. They take things very seriously on set, and you don't know if they have a sense of humor or not, but clearly they do. So, I mean, props to Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro for doing that. That was awesome. And, I mean, that alone should put Jim Brewer in the Hall of Fame, because, I don't know many guys that bring those two heavy hitters like that on live television. So, props to Jim Brewer for doing that. And Jim Brewer, if anything, I heard a thing where he didn't even want to do that as a character. Someone heard, or a secretary heard him do that in the hallway and kind of mentioned, "Oh, you should do that on the show." And just little things like that just make a difference. And the right person hears the right thing, and there you go. You got a classic skit. So that's pretty awesome. He regularly appeared in a TV variety show as a child. Okay, well, that answers the question that, he did show up live then. There you go. Pesci's career really took off. What the fuck was that? I thought I was going to get whacked there.
Yeah. Who's this?
This is Benny.
Benny, what happened?
Well,
You get it straightened out?
well, we had a problem, and we tried to do everything we could.
What do you mean?
Well, you know what I mean. He's gone, and we couldn't do nothing about it. That's it.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
He's gone. He's gone. That's it.
And this is why we don't have telephone booths anymore. Superman is pissed. Now, what was this before? Windows, there's a threat on, fuck off. Pesci's career really took off in the 1980s after he met Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro. But by then, he'd been acting professionally for years. From the mid-50s, Pesci made regular television appearances on a popular variety show called Smart Time Kids. What a nice smile. Pesci appeared on the show alongside Connie Francis, who went on to become a successful actress and singer herself. As a child, Pesci also appeared in local radio dramas and worked on several plays. Look at that hair. It's beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. As an adolescent in the 60s, Pesci's attention turned into furthering his musical ambitions, and he stepped back from his nascent acting career. However, by the mid-70s, Pesci had returned to acting for good and appeared in his first film, The Death Collector, in 1976. Thank fucking God. I have no money for the swear jar. He briefly worked as a barber before hitting the big time. Once again, not helping the stereotype. Before Pesci committed himself to acting, he followed in his mother's footsteps and worked in a barbershop. Pesci reportedly enjoyed the camaraderie of working in a hairdresser's, as well as the low-stress lifestyle. Beautiful head of hair. Pesci had huge success as a barber, and by the early 70s had opened his own salon with a friend in Nutley, New Jersey. The salon's co-owner, Sal Mangivillano, says that the shop even attracted a client of gangsters and made men. He still works as a hairdresser and loves to tell his customers about his time working with Pesci. According to one of Pesci's former clients, it was always clear that his ultimate dream was to be an actor. Joe would always interrupt the cutting of hair to act out a story or tell a joke or practice his routines, they told Entertainment Weekly. Ladies and gentlemen, I will say this, I can absolutely vouch for this, and I wasn't even there, and I'll tell you why. Because I used to get my hair cut by a European, more specifically, an old Greek man, okay? I would go into the shop, no bullshit, okay? This is how old school it was. I mean, it was wood paneling as far as the eye could see. So it gave you an idea of how old this place was. So all over this place, there was just like a huge collage of women in bikinis, just everywhere. Everything from the 60s, 70s, 80s. It was beautiful. It really was. It was just a magical place. It looked like that one movie. Actually, the other guy from Lethal Weapon there, Glover there. I don't know. He did a movie where, I don't know, he played like a weirdo or something, and in the car there was all these pictures of women. I forgot. Leave your comments in the section below if you know what the name of the movie is. The point is, for a 5-minute haircut, he would take an hour. And I mean, like, he would take a couple snips every like 10 seconds. Then he would stop, turn around, or he would just literally go right in front of me and just start telling a story. Then he would go back to cutting the hair. I would say something. He would say something. He would stop. He was like a conductor with scissors. Just, it would take forever. But it was entertaining. Again, you know, tits along the wall, him just telling the story. He had a funny mustache. It was great. The point is, if you ever get a haircut from a European and they tell you it'll just be a few minutes, give them 1 hour. The Utes scene in My Cousin Vinny was inspired by a real-life interaction between Pesci and director Jonathan Lynn. One of the most famous scenes from My Cousin Vinny is the courtroom scene where Vinny and Judge Chamberlain holler. Is it holler or Haler? No, holler. Yeah, holler. Yeah. He was funny. We'll get into that in a little bit. Get their wires crossed. In the memorable scene, Vinny mentions 2 Utes, causing Holler to interrupt and ask,
To what? What was that word?
What word?
To what?
What?
Did you say Utes?
Yeah, 2 Utes.
What is a ute?
The two go back and forth before Vinny, exasperated, explains he means
Oh, excuse me, Your Honor. 2 youths.
the iconic interaction was inspired by a conversation that Lynn and Pesci had offset. In the film's DVD commentary, Lynn recalls Pesci telling him a story about 2 utes, promoting the director to ask what a ute was. Lynn realized that ought to happen between Vinny and the judge and wrote it into the script. Beautiful. He made Liverpudlian actor Stephen Graham talk like his Irishman character in order to understand him. The Irishman saw Pesci reunite with De Niro and Scorsese, but the film also featured some new faces for the seasoned actor. One actor Pesci struggled to gel with was Stephen Graham, not because of any animosity between the two, but because Pesci couldn't understand his Liverpudlian accent. I can barely say the word. Speaking on the Graham Norton show, Skozer Graham, did I say that right? Skozer, yeah, there you go, recalled Pesci asking him to continue speaking in his character's accent off set. Graham said that Pesci graciously invited him out for dinner one night, but reportedly quipped, "Why are you talking like that? Why don't you talk as your character so I can understand you?" Pesci was keen for Graham to nail his performance in the film, having known Graham's character, Anthony Tony Provenzano, in real life. Despite Pesci's apprehension about Graham's accent, the actor was reportedly very impressed with the younger man's performance. There you go. Just because Pesci's telling you to talk in a certain way, that doesn't mean he doesn't like you. He just wants the best out of you. That's it. It's not like he called him a you stuttering prick. He regularly calls his mother from the sets of his movies. It's hard to imagine the actor behind the chilling "you think I'm funny" scene expressing any form of tenderness, but Pesci is a devoted son. He always makes time to call his mother, even when he's working on a film. Speaking to the New York Times in 1992, Pesci said, "I tried to call her and get her to do things with me, but our lives are so spread out." Hilariously, when Pesci's mom saw Goodfellas, she reportedly told her son she thought it was good, but asked if he really had to swear that much. Pesci's mother has never appeared on screen alongside her son, although Goodfellas does feature a scene with character Tommy DeVito's mother. The actress who plays DeVito's mother is actually Catherine Scorsese, Martin Scorsese's mother. And she did an excellent job in the movie. Just the way they played off each other was absolutely perfect. But again, we'll get into that in a little bit. He appeared in a Snickers advert with Don Rickles in 2011. Now this I remember. Given the standard format of most modern Snickers adverts, angry person morphs into calm person upon taking a bite out of a Snickers bar, which is something that happens in real life. Pesci was a great choice for their 2011 campaign. The clip sees him deride 2 girls at a party, unprovoked, before a friend offers him a Snickers bar to help him calm down. Pesci's character then calms down after eating the Snickers and turns back into another actor. When the 2 men return to the young women... Why am I describing this? I'm just gonna... Fuck it, here it is.
So you guys grew up together?
Yeah, since 3rd grade. I mean, look,
What, you got looking
We're not good enough for you. You looking for something else?
I don't know.
What are you, big supermodels? Oh, yeah, use us. Supermodels? What are you, model gloves? What are you doing? The girl's totally into me.
Brad, eat a Snickers.
Why?
Because you get a little angry when you're hungry. Better?
Better. So, ladies.
So losers.
Stacy, relax.
Sorry.
You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
I prefer O. Henry, but still, funny commercial. Although the actors involved say that he was still incredibly soft-spoken. Really?
Motherfucker, you believe this? 2 fucking days and nights. Fuck me, you motherfucker. Fuck my mother. That's what you got. Fuck me. Motherfucker, you, huh? Yeah. Give me the fucking name.
Charlie M.
Charlie M.
Charlie M.
Charlie M. You make me pop your fucking eye out of your head to protect that piece of shit. Charlie M. You dumb motherfucker. Kill you. Fuck you. You motherfucker, you.
That's soft-spoken, huh? Okay. Maybe for an Italian, but anyways. His Oscar almost made a cameo in My Cousin Vinny. Pesci won his Oscar for Best Supporting Actor in Goodfellas while he was working on a new film, My Cousin Vinny. Pesci was back on set shooting for the upcoming movie just one day after the Academy Awards ceremony. Director Jonathan Lynn had a funny story to tell about that day's filming on the movie's DVD commentary. That day, the crew were shooting the scene where Vinny sleeps through a prison riot. When we planned to, Pesci, he was clutching the Oscar in his arms, Lynn recalled. Lynn says they went ahead and included the clip in footage sent to the studio. Unfortunately, the shot didn't make the final cut, and Pesci's Oscar makes no appearance in the film. Well, that's a shame. But, again, beautiful movie. He's done lots of good movies. Couple movies, we'll get into that. But, overall, he's made his impact. Trust me. Okay? Especially on the big screen. And if you guys don't mind, I'd like to go on IMDb because, again, Rotten Tomatoes, bupkis. And we start with Joe Pesci's very first role that he ever did was all the way in 1961 in a little movie called Hey, Let's Twist. Dancer at the Peppermint Club. Unfortunately, he was uncredited. But if you look at the movie, if you can find it, you can actually see him twisting. He's going nuts. He's doing a good job. I don't know why I'm actually twisting now. It's an audio podcast, but it doesn't matter. It gets me in the mood. And again, he's got a beautiful head of hair. I keep saying he has a beautiful head of hair for this reason. Because I went over this one girl's house one day, and I brought over Casino. Because, I know deep down it's a wig, but still, I just wanted to bug her. I said, look, he's got a beautiful head of hair. It's a wig. I don't care. Just enjoy the movie, please. That's all. So, I'm sure at one point he did have that hair, and if he watched this clip, he clearly did. So there you go. We all lose our hair. Ask my mirror. It just happens. So that was the very first thing he did. And he didn't do anything until, looks like 15 years later in 1976, when he did his first, real movie called The Death Collector, where he played a character named, surprise, surprise, Joe. I've never heard of this movie. But then again, I never heard of Hey, Let's Twist. So, I'm assuming it's about twisting. And looks like we'll never know because, I don't know, for some reason the page won't load. I've tried it on different ones and I got nothing. It just says dough. It's a nice little Simpsons reference. I appreciate that. Okay, so The Death Collector, 5.5 out of 10. I don't know. Never heard of this one either. Neighborhood kid goes to work for the mafia as a debt collector. Okay, so we're we're clearly already getting the ball rolling when it comes to mafia roles. Okay, so that's good. Director writer Ralph DeVito. Again, this is a clear sign of things to come. So listen, life just gives you certain omens. You know, you just got to go with it. So far so good. And he was in a movie called Short Eyes. He played the other inmate. He was uncredited in that one. And, it's just getting his ball rolling there. And then all of a sudden, 1980 comes. Oh, what a beautiful decade of music. Well, it depends who you ask. But, let's be honest. Michael Jackson, the Police, they definitely saved it. It's a lot of people consider it a good decade of music. I still say the 70s or even the 60s are better. Again, I don't know where I'm going with this, but the point is, this is where Joe Pesci got his big break and was in one of Martin Scorsese's. A lot of people consider this one of the best sports movies of all time. Definitely one of the best boxing movies of all time. You can go back and forth. What's the better movie, Raging Bull or Rocky? I'm Italian. I don't have to answer that question. I like both. The point is, this movie is awesome. Little movie that I just said a few seconds ago called Raging Bull. And he plays the character named Joey. Now, how did he get this role? Obviously, he had to audition for it, right? The story that I heard is that they called him a few times. I think it was De Niro and Marty. I think De Niro called him a few more times, but every time, I think De Niro called him like 3 times or something, and he just kept hanging up the phone because he didn't believe it was this guy. He didn't believe that, the star of, The Godfather, Part 2, one of my, if not, it is my favorite movie of all time. I can say that. It is. Yes, better than 1. Again, I will talk about that in another day. Taxi Driver, he could. I mean, who would believe that this person would call him personally and tell him that he wanted the role? But that's exactly what happened. So I think after the 3rd phone call, he finally believed him. They met up, and listen, the rest is history. I mean, this is one of the best movies of all time. Period. How did this movie not win Best Picture? Do you guys know when won Best Picture that year? Exactly. The point is, this is an awesome movie, 8.2 rating out of 10 on IMDb. Well deserved. I would even give it a little higher, maybe an 8.5, but that's just me. But the movie is about the life of boxer Jake LaMotta, who violence and temper that led him to the top in the ring destroyed his life outside of it. And you get a great sense of, obviously like what this character went through, and obviously it's based on a real story, about the real life boxer Jake LaMotta, and yeah, I mean, you could do a whole podcast just on that guy alone, but I mean, Robert De Niro did a beautiful job with this. He even gained weight for the role. You can see at the end there. Again, actually, it's funny. You get to see how big he is when he's in the phone booth. So again, he always loves phone booths. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a Robert thing, a Scorsese thing. Who knows? But yeah, this is just an awesome movie. I mean, I could talk about this movie for hours. I won't, because it's one of those movies that you just have to see for yourself. Okay? Now, maybe the younger generation's thinking, oh, it's in black and white. Shut up. Okay? Shut up. All the best movies were in black and white. Casablanca, On the Waterfront. Okay? So, I don't want to hear any of this shit. Okay? Go see this movie. You got Robert De Niro, Kathy Moriarty, Joe Pesci, Frank Vincent, Nicholas Castellano. If you don't know who that is, if you watch the original show Cheers, I think he was in the first 4 seasons. All right, he was good old Ted Danson's helper there behind the bar. Teresa Saldana, Mario Gallo, Frank Adonis. What more do you want? Come on. I don't have to say anything more. This is a classic movie. This is a classic cinematic movie. It's a huge hit when it came out. It should have won Best Picture. Again, I'm not adding to the swear jar, but how the fuck did this not win Best Picture? I think that year The In-Laws won or something like that. It's a good movie, but come on, it's no Raging Bull. I mean, come on, it's a piece of chocolate. Bring it over here. Fuck, man. What more do you want? What more does the Academy want? Every year, it's just disappointing. I don't know. You give people that put assaults on comedians awards. I don't know what's going on with you guys. The point is, it's a beautiful movie. One of my favorites of all time. One of my favorites by Robert De Niro, of course. Joe Pesci was great in it. And again, this got the ball rolling for him. So if you got the chance, fuck that. You make the chance. You make it happen. And you find out, what it's really like to be a boxer. And, it's not all rainbows and sunshine like another fellow boxer said in a movie. This guy went through a lot of tough times, and, a lot of it was his fault. And, the pressure just got to him. And, but he accomplished a lot, for just one man. So you absolutely have to see this movie. This is an absolute must see. If you are a movie lover, you have to see this movie. Even the way Scorsese shot it, the soundtrack, it's just, some shots in there like really make you feel like you're right in the ring with De Niro. You're taking those punches too, despite it being black and white. I mean, you can just feel the pain, you know what I mean? Physical, emotional, like just everything. So you absolutely have to see this movie, okay? No more excuses. No more, okay? Me, I like my steak medium rare. But the point is, you have to see this movie. That's it. Then he did a movie called I'm Dancing as Fast as I Can, which I'm assuming is the complete opposite of what Raging Bull was. I've never even heard of this movie. Dear Mr. Wonderful. I've never heard of this movie either. I don't know. I just don't know. It looks like he's singing. It looks like he's having a good time. But again, it looks like one of those movies. You can look by look at the movie poster and you're like, this is not good. But again, 4.4 out of 10. It says it all there. But again, it talks about him working at a bowling alley, which he did in real life. I did mention that before, in New Jersey. So it borrows a little bit of what he did in real life, but you just can't ignore the rating. Sorry, maybe if it was a 6.5, who knows? Eureka. No, that's the name of the movie. Yeah, I never heard of this one either. 5.9 out of 10. What is this one? Gene Hackman. Okay. 1925 Arctic prospector Jack McCann, played by Gene Hackman, becomes a rich man when he strikes gold, but 20 years later, he faces major personal and family problems. Okay. All right, you got Joe Pesci in there. Okay, Gene Hackman, of course, living legend. I heard he retired in Mexico or something, and now he's just painting all day, and good for him, man. Awesome. I mean, I'll forgive him for, welcome to Mooseport. I mean, it's, it is what it is. But, yeah, I've never heard of this movie. Mickey Rourke's in this one. Okay, so maybe that's where Joe Pesci built a relationship with Mickey Rourke there. Again, very underrated actor. I still feel today does not get his props. Yeah, so I don't know. I have not seen this one, so yeah, maybe one day I got to do a Gene Hackman podcast. So there you go. Easy Money. Oh boy, this is one of my favorites by Rodney Dangerfield. Rodney Dangerfield is in my top 5 comedians of all time. He's just awesome. Not including Caddyshack. I mean, of course, you got to include that one because he's obviously in that one. Although I did hear something that it was supposed to be, ironically, Don Rickles, who starred with Joe Pesci in the Snickers commercial. It was supposed to be him over Rodney Dangerfield. He didn't want to do it. Then Rodney Dangerfield was in Caddyshack. I'm getting a little off course here. But the point is, this is a great movie. So if you like Rodney Dangerfield, I basically recommend 3 movies for you. You got Caddyshack, you got Easy Money, and of course, you gotta have Back to School. So those are his top three for sure. But Easy Money's great. Joe Pesci just plays his buddy in this one. Basically, the whole point is Rodney Dangerfield has to basically detox for a whole year. No smoking, no drinking, no weed, no coke. I mean, it's just torturous, right? And keep in mind, this is in 1983, so that's even worse. I don't condone doing coke. I'm just trying to make jokes here. The point is, this is a really funny movie. Great cast of people too. Joe Pesci's great in it. He's always antagonizing him, smoking in front of him, drinking in front of him. So he's not making it any easier, But again, I know he's got a beautiful head of hair in this one. But again, I know it's fake. I get it. But it's cool. Don't worry. And Joe Pesci, of course, he's got that tough attitude again, like he always does in most of his movies. And there you go. So if you want a good laugh, definitely see this movie. Rodney Dangerfield made a lot of good movies. But the top three I mentioned, those are his best ones for sure. You definitely can't ignore those ones. So when you got a chance, check it out. It's a real funny movie. Once Upon a Time in America. Great movie. Not talked about enough. A lot of people always forget about this movie. I mean, obviously, if you're into the whole mobster, mafia theme thing, this is definitely a must-see. It says here, a former Prohibition-era Jewish gangster returns to the Lower East Side of Manhattan 35 years later, where he must once again confront the ghosts and regrets of his old life. Once again, guys, this is a great movie. Very long movie. I'm not going to lie. 3 hours and 49 minutes. Godfather 2, Eat Your Heart Out. But, again, done by Sergio Leone. Ooh, if you don't know who that guy is, go fuck yourself. Again, no swear jar. I don't care. Look up his movieography. Fucking awesome. The guy knows how to make a great soundtrack, too. I mean, look at this cast. You got Robert De Niro, James Woods, which, by the way, this is definitely one of James Woods' best roles he's ever done. Elizabeth McGovern, Treat Williams, Tuesday Weald, Burt Young, Joe Pesci, of course, Danny Aiello, William Forsythe. Hell of a cast, guys. Again, you might have to take a few more piss breaks in this one, but, it's going to feel like you're watching The Irishman again. But, yeah, great movie. 8.3 out of 10, IMDb. You never steer me wrong. You never steer my audience wrong. I appreciate that. Excellent movie. It's one of those, again, I'm not going to say, hidden gems or whatever, because a lot of people do know about this movie, but, when you think of mob movies, the first thing you always think of is like Godfather, Goodfellas, but a lot of people always forget about Once Upon a Time in America. So, if you got 4 hours to kill, then absolutely, positively, check out this movie. And, of course, Joe Pesci is great in it. I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember it being a very good movie. Then he was in a movie called Tutti Dentro, which I really hope I'm saying that right. Never heard of it. I'm assuming it's an Italian movie. Yeah, it probably is. Okay. Yeah, I got nothing. Then he was in a TV movie called Half Nelson. He played Rocky Nelson. So, I don't know who plays the other half. I don't know. Never heard of this one either. Rocky Nelson is a New York cop who, after making a major bust and selling the rights of his story to Hollywood, decides to try his luck as an actor. Oh, boy. Okay. I see. You got Fred Williamson in there. Tough motherfucker. Victoria Jackson. Val Bisoglio. Morgan Brittany. William Bryant. Larry Holmes. Really? Okay. George Kennedy. Cool. All right. Dean Martin even makes an appearance. Plays a character named Mr. Martin. All right. I've never heard of this movie. I don't know why I don't know. I mean, the poster's in black and white, so I don't know if the movie's in black and white. I'm not sure. So, and then they made a TV series based on Half Nelson, and he was in that too. Okay. All right. There you go. So, yeah, everything, it all makes sense, guys. And then he was in a movie called Man on Fire. Sort of sounds familiar. Former CIA agent John Creasley is hired as a bodyguard for a girl in Italy. It always surrounds Italy, these movies. Who becomes the daughter he never had. When she is abducted, Creasley's fiery rage is unleashed, and desperate, being badly wounded, embarks on a bloody revenge spree. So, in other words, classic 80s shit. Awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. Scott Glenn, who a lot of people don't know, he was in Backdraft. Remember, he was one of the firemen there. Apparently, I heard a story that when they made Sons of Anarchy, they taped him as one of the main, or as the Ron Perlman character. They taped a whole pilot with him. And then, I don't know, for some reason, they went with Ron Perlman. They taped it again, and that's it. So, I don't know what happened there, but he's a cool dude. He got a little fucked over in Training Day. But the point is, awesome actor. Jade Malley, Joe Pesci, of course, Brooke Adams, Jonathan Pryce, Paul Shinar, Danny Aiello, Laura Moranti. It sounds, again, this is just classic 80s revenge shit. I love it. 5.8 out of 10, I don't care. You know what? I got to see it. Never seen it, but I got to see it. Moonwalker. Holy shit. Okay, so he played a character named Mr. Big. I know the irony. I get it. Anyways, so I don't know how to describe this movie. So basically, it's a Michael Jackson movie. It's kind of just a very long music video type, kind of like fantasy. It's got all this claymation in there. It's really just an insane movie. I always said to myself, like, if I ever do shrooms one day, I have to watch this movie because then it'll just entice it that much more. But I don't know, probably my head would explode. But Joe Pesci, he plays the bad guy in it, and that's it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's the 80s, man. If Michael Jackson gives you a call, yeah, you better pick up the phone, So, yeah, why not be a bad guy in Michael Jackson movie? So, there you go. But, this movie is one hell of a trip. I'm not going to lie. I just saw it for the first time like a few years ago, so. But, yeah, if you got the chance, I don't know, man. Definitely check it out. It's very 80s, like the animation and all that. So, yeah, definitely check it out. Michael Jackson, Smooth Criminal. One of my favorite songs by Michael Jackson. And again, he plays the same bad guy, Mr. Big. Of course, I remember when they made the video game for Sega Genesis. That was huge. You can watch a funny review that the Angry Video Game Nerd does on it. And I think once he did that review, I think a few months later, Michael Jackson died. So, yeah, that was pretty crazy. I mean, nobody saw that death coming for sure. But, again, he played Mr. Big, the same character in Moonwalker. And, there you go. So, awesome song, awesome video. There you go. I've tried many times to throw a coin in a jukebox, like from a distance. And for him to get it, that first try is just phenomenal. I mean, there's people online that, like, I don't know, they shoot ping pong balls off the stairs or something and try to get into a cup, and they don't really tell you how many times they do it, but there's no fucking way they get it in one shot. So that's come on, that's bullshit. Lethal Weapon 2. Okay, we did that joke already. But again, he plays Leo Getz. The first Lethal Weapon movie, huge hit. More of I would consider the first one more of a dark comedy. And then many years later, Mel Gibson made this horrendous phone call to one of his exes. And you can see that shit on YouTube. But I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it is what it is. But I don't know. Now I hear they're going to make a part 5, but I don't think Joe Pesci's going to be in it. I just don't think it's going to happen. But yeah, I mean, hey man, you never know if the check is right. Who knows? But Lethal Weapon 1 was great. Lethal Weapon 2 just as good as well. It's kind of like the opposite of obviously what he did in a lot of his other roles, and not playing the tough guy, just more like the motor mouth kind of type. Even dyed his hair for it, and you got Mel Gibson there. You got Mr. Glover there, who I told a great story about what inspired, I guess, my barber to decorate his shop. But yeah, it's a great movie. I enjoy these movies. The third one, it was okay. The fourth one, but what are you going to do? But yeah, the first two are classics for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, so when you got a chance, check that one out. Check them both out. Fuck it. The Legendary Life of Ernest Hemingway. We all know who Ernest Hemingway is, right? Yeah, there you go. Catch Fire. Yeah, Catch Fire. One word. There you go. He's in there. Betsy's Wedding. I wasn't invited to this one. Directed and written by Alan Alda. And stars him too. Oh, nice. The very different Betsy and Jake are getting married. They want a small wedding, but their dads want to give them a huge one. Okay. Fair enough. Alan Alda, Molly Ringwald, Joey Bishop, Madeline Kahn, Anthony LaPaglia, Catherine O'Hara, Joe Pesci, of course, Alan Sheedy. You would think this is a John Hughes movie. Burt Young, Julie Bovasso, Nicholas Coster, Bish, how do I say that? Sorry. Dylan Walsh, Frankie Faison, Monica Carr. Okay. I've never seen this one. No, I haven't. No. But what's funny is Joe Pesci's character's name in this movie is Oscar Henner. And guess what movie he does next where he wins the Oscar? That's right. It's Hey, Let's Twist. Sorry, I got the page going again. Okay, 4.5 out of 10. Okay, the rise, fall, and resurgence of the Peppermint Lounge nightclub is chronicled. There you go. Chronic Cold. There you go. The sons of the Peppermint Lounge nightclub owner nearly toppled the club's initial success by resigning the place, then realized their mistake. Oh, of course. That's what happens back in the day. You got to get the kids dancing, man. You got to get them grooving and doing the twist and the Charleston. And listen, it was his first movie. He loves to dance. That's it, But what are we really here? Why are we really here? We're really here to talk about the beautiful, one of the best movies of all time in my top 5, 1990, Goodfellas, where he plays Tommy DeVito. Now, of course, that's not his real name. I'm Italian, so I'm not going to give you his real name. I don't have to, okay? It's against my religion. But you can do your own research. All I can say is this, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't been able to tell from the clips I played before, this is an awesome movie. And I just did the Ray Liotta podcast, rest in peace again. And this is just an awesome movie. I figure, just keep this momentum going. I mean, this is one of the best movies of all time. I feel like every day I have to convince somebody to watch Goodfellas. Okay? Now, the character that Ray Liotta played was Henry Hill. The real Henry Hill in real life even said that the way Joe Pesci played the character of Tommy, he even played it down. The guy in real life was actually a bigger guy, way more muscular, and he had a mustache. So, of course, they're not going to say everything the guy did. Obviously, he already incriminated himself enough, okay? But the craziest thing about this movie is when you watch it, okay? And a little bit of a spoiler alert. So if you want to forward through the first minute, if you haven't seen Goodfellas, I can't imagine why you haven't. Just forward through the first minute. Go. So, Scorsese is such a good storyteller that, listen, everybody in this cast is just a bad person. Everybody. Every single person, basically. Okay? Maybe the person that sold him the Danish at the end there, whatever. Who knows? But the point is, everybody's a bad person. And when Joe Pesci dies, you can't tell me that there's a part of you that didn't feel a little shocked and a little sad. And that's how fucked up this movie fucks with you, in the sense where you get so wrapped into these characters that you even start to root for the bad guy. And what does that remind you of? Let's say 7, 8 years down the road, The Sopranos. I mean, first of all, you watch Sopranos, they got half their cast from Goodfellas anyway. Like when they're going around the room and, introducing all the people. Oh, go get the papers, get the papers. I mean, half of those people were in Sopranos. Like even the guy that's going through the coat rack there of the furs, that's a big pussy right there. That's right. Pause it. You'll see. That's I believe that's one of his first roles, if not his first role. So, I mean, this movie got the ball rolling for a lot of people in there. It even has the one guy from Green Book, where the story is based on, where, again, later on, he was in Sopranos as well. I mean, this movie is just so good. I feel like I'm saying this till I'm blue in the face. But again, Joe Pesci was perfect in this role. For the other roles, I said Al Pacino was supposed to be De Niro's role. They were considering Sean Penn to be Ray Liotta's role, but they wanted Joe Pesci for this role specifically. I never heard any other names that were mentioned. They always wanted him. He won the Oscar for it. He was excellent in this. And then after that, everybody just knew Joe Pesci was not a guy to be fucked with. It's like when you saw Tupac in Juice. I mean, you really thought he was this guy, just raised his level, to being that much more tougher. I mean, people knew he was tough anyway, but, just because of a movie role, you think, he's stereotyped as this guy forever, It's a gift and a curse, but at the same time, it's a beautiful curse to be able to have such a great role, which was such a great director, Martin Scorsese. So I don't even have to say anything else, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, again, if you've never seen Goodfellas, you absolutely have to see this movie. Turn off this podcast right now, all two of you that listen to this, and just go see this movie. It is awesome. It's awesome. I mean, it's one of the best movies of all time. One of Martin Scorsese's, if not his best movie of all time. The cast alone, who's in the cast already. I've said it a million times, okay? If you haven't seen Goodfellas, go out and see it. The weekend is coming up. You have no excuses anymore. Go see Goodfellas. That's it. Plain and simple. Oh, and one last thing. At the end of the movie, when Joe Pesci is shooting the gun, now a lot of people are always confused by that. They're like, are they saying that Joe Pesci, did Tommy somehow fuck over Henry Hill in the movie or in real life, or what is that about? There's a movie that came out almost 100 years ago, I think over 100 years ago, called The Great Train Robbery, which is a silent film. I think the movie, I don't think the movie is even more than 15 minutes. I don't know, because back then, it wasn't, back then they didn't have Blu-ray. Imagine that. But, yeah. And then at the end of that movie, it just shows the robber shooting into the screen, exactly the way Joe Pesci did. So, it's an ode to that. Because Martin Scorsese always says that, the movie itself was kind of like a short version of Goodfellas. It's just, guys going around committing crimes, and, he wanted to give an ode to that. I mean, that's how much Martin Scorsese loves the old movies. So, there you go. You're welcome. Also in 1990, another little movie came out called Home Alone. And I've done 3 podcasts about this guy, so I don't know, there's not much else to say. I mean, he was great in this. The one thing I always heard that instead of Daniel Stern, I think Joe Pesci was trying to get Robert De Niro involved in this, but he didn't want to do it. So, we got Daniel Stern, who also did a great job, don't get me wrong. So, but yeah, I just love the fact that he has a gold tooth, and, if you told me that, after Goodfellas, Joe Pesci would be in this kind of movie where, he's trying to just chase a kid, and Oh, which, by the way, I did mention this before. The scene at the end of Home Alone where Macaulay Culkin, they hang him up on the door there, and he's about to bite off one of his fingers. He actually, Pesci apparently bit too hard, and he left like a permanent scar on Macaulay Culkin's finger. And then at one point, I don't know, like Macaulay Culkin said, like, why aren't you being nicer, blah, 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 blah. And of course, keep in mind, Macaulay Culkin's what, like 8 years old, whatever. So, and I think Joe Pesci just tells him, like, fuck off, kid, or something. So, I mean, I wish somebody recorded that. But again, you know, I've done a couple podcasts about these movies, one on one, one on two, and then the other shit ones, which, holy cow, they're shit. But yeah, I mean, these are great movies to watch, you know, during Christmas time. A must-see in my list that I always like to watch every year for sure. And yeah, Pesci's great in it. He's awesome. So yeah, definitely check out this movie. Maybe not now. Maybe wait till, you know, December, November. If you're not that, you know, if you're one of these weirdos that, you know, puts up a tree November 1st, I just, you know, go fuck yourself. But yeah, definitely a Christmas classic. One of the best Christmas movies of all time. The Super. Okay, so this movie's okay. It's all right. It's nothing, you know. It's not the best comedy, but it's not the worst comedy either, you know. And I like in the advertisement they put like Goodfellas, Home Alone, Lethal Weapon 2. Just to remind you of all the better films than this one. I mean, this one's okay. It's whatever. I don't know. What does it say here? It says karma comes into play when a wealthy, wisecracking landlord is ordered by court to live in a filthy building that he runs. Okay, so you know he's like a slumlord. You know, a couple jokes here and there. It's all right. Again, you know, the wigs just keep coming, but yeah, it's okay for a cheap laugh. You know, it's nothing special. I don't know. If you want to check it out, I'll leave it up to you. JFK, classic movie. Definitely, you know, one of those movies where you know it's either you believe what actually happened in real life or you don't. But you know, the whole conspiracy behind you know the JFK assassination. Director Oliver Stone. You can tell it's an Oliver Stone movie, absolutely. Great cast. I mean, you got Kevin Costner in there, Gary Oldman, Walter Matthau, Jack Lemmon. John Candy's in this one a little bit too. J.O. Sanders, Edward Asner, Sally Kirkland, Jodie Foster. Yeah. Really good movie, but yeah, Joe Pesci. You know, I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen this movie in a while. I totally forgot Joe Pesci was in this, but yeah, it is a pretty good movie. And again, you know, it still raises the question: was it an assassination, or you know, was it government involvement? I don't know. It's who fucking knows at this point. But I don't know. It's one of those movies. Yeah, it'll get the people talking. That's for sure. And here's a classic comedy. Okay. My Cousin Vinny. Now, I've already talked about this. He plays a character named Vinny Gambini, which is as Italian as you can get. Two New Yorkers accused of murder in rural Alabama while on their way back to college call in the help of one of their cousins, a loudmouth lawyer with no trial experience. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, you know, when you read something like that, you're like, this sounds fucking stupid. It does. It does. It sounds like a stupid comedy. It really does. But when you watch this, guys, I'm telling you, and ladies, to me, it's one of my favorite comedies of all time. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Joe Pesci fan or Italian, or even the fact that the Karate Kid is in it. And the father from the Munsters. It's just a great comedy, guys. I mean, the whole point of this guy, he has no idea what the fuck he's doing. He's trying to, you know, help out his what is it, the one nephew and his friend there get out of court, and of course he's just one of the worst lawyers of all time, but he starts picking it up slowly as he goes, and great cast of people. Marissa Tomei won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for this. She was great in it. Ralph Macchio, you'll know as the Karate Kid. The other guy was involved, Mitchell Whitfield. Great. You got the judge, Fred Gwynn. Awesome. Lane Smith, who, I always remember him in the Superman show and Son-in-Law. And The Distinguished Gentleman with Eddie Murphy. Underrated comedy. A lot of people don't like that one, but I like it. You got Bruce McGill, Austin Pendleton, Murray Chaikin, Paul Laney Myers, James Rebhorn, who plays a bad guy in everything he does. Great actor. Raynor Srini, I hope I said that right. Chris Elias, Lou Walker. Great cast of people, guys. This is a really, really good comedy. Again, I could play a bunch of clips for you. I already played one clip for you. I don't mean to spoil you, but this is an excellent comedy. Would it be in my top 10 of all time? I might have to consider it. I'm not going to lie. This is a comedy I always forget about because, first of all, for some reason, it always feels like this movie came out in the 80s. I don't know why, but it came out in 1992. So that always surprises me. I don't know why. But but again, great little movie, guys. Really funny. A lot of great jokes in it. So, it's one of those things I don't want to play everything for you because I don't want to kill it. But yeah, it was really good. So definitely check out this one. This is definitely one of the funnier movies I saw growing up, and I believe of all time. Lethal Weapon 3. I don't remember a lot of it. I got to be honest with you. I remember watching it once, and it was okay. Like I said, the first two are really good. He's the same guy in this one. Same thing, very, chatty Cathy there, whatever, It's okay. I still feel the first two are the better ones, but I don't know. Apparently we got a fifth one coming very soon. So there you go. He was in an episode of Tales from the Crypt. That was a pretty good TV show. They say the first couple seasons were really good because they had a lot of guest stars. So I totally forgot Joe Pesci was even in this. Like, I always remember the episode of like Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's the main one I always remember. And there you go. Then he was in a movie called The Public Eye. I don't remember this movie at all. In the early 1940s, an infamous New York paparazzo gets an assignment from a club owner to do a background search on a mysterious gangster. Again with the gangsters, which leads him down a very dangerous path. Okay, so it's got one of my favorite ratings of all time for a movie, 6.5 out of 10. And I say that because that is basically on the cusp of a movie that you might like or you might hate. So, I've never seen this movie because, I've never even heard of this movie. So, I don't know. I don't know what to expect from it. So, if someone has seen it out there, please let me know if it's a good movie or not, and we'll go from there. You got Joe Pesci, obviously. You got Barbara Hershey, Richard Reel, Brian Travis Smith, Max Brooks, Richard Schiff, is that how you say it? Laura Ciron. Decent little cast. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to check it out too. Because again, you never know with these movies. They could be hidden gems. You have no idea. So, I don't know. Who knows? Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Well, the first one made a shit ton of money. Of course, they're going to make another one. And of course, you got to put Joe Pesci in there again with his buddy Daniel Stern. Okay? So, same thing. Same booby traps coming around. I got to say the traps in the first one were better than the second one. Although when Harry gets electrocuted, I think that's one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen when he turns into a skeleton. I think that's so awesome. But again, Joe Pesci learned his lesson. He taps on the doorknobs this time. Make sure it doesn't have the handprint in there. That was actually pretty funny when he jumps like from the back of the hotel there, and then he jumps into Joe Pesci's arms, and you see the imprint on his hand. So I thought that was a nice little touch they did. But I still say the funniest thing that happened to Joe Pesci in those movies was when he opens the door and his head is on fire. I don't know how the fuck they did that. I mean, I wish I had a podcast to actually describe, and do research on that, but who knows? The point is, it's still okay. It's still good, It's not as good as the first one, I'm not going to lie, but it's still a pretty good movie. I like it. And I like this next movie too, A Bronx Tale, which is a classic. And how this movie came about was you have Chaz Palminteri, who's an awesome actor. You've seen him in a bunch of stuff. Trust me. And he performed this as a one-man show on stage. And, he's trying to sell it as a movie. And people are like, oh, okay, let me, do the movie, blah, 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 blah. He was kind of in the air. I don't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. And then Robert De Niro shows up to one of his shows, says, I loved it. I want to do this movie. I want to direct it. I want to star in it. But I want you to play Sonny, okay? Because, if you think about it, I mean, you'd probably think the other way around. You probably think, oh, Robert De Niro will play the gangster and Chaz will play the father. But you know what? He knew that, like, for this to work, he needed Chaz to play Sonny and Robert was going to play Lorenzo. So, obviously, it worked out awesome. And, of course, he had Joe Pesci in there. But, well, you know what? If you haven't seen the movie, you know what? I'm not even going to say where Joe Pesci fits into this story, okay? So basically, I'll say this with A Bronx Tale. What happens in your past will definitely affect your future. I'm sure you've never heard that gem before. Thank you. The point is, this is an excellent movie. If you have the chance, see it. And yes, Joe Pesci is in it. Okay, you're going to watch the movie, you'll be like, where is he? Where is he? He's going to eventually come. Don't worry. He's in the movie. Trust me. But this is an excellent movie. When you get a chance, see this one too. John Larroquette show. Good little show. I always liked John Larroquette. I always thought he was a funny guy. I remember when he had the show. I don't remember the motorcycle. But Joe Pesci was in an episode. All right. That's cool. Jimmy Hollywood. Not the best rating. 5.3 out of 10. I'll be honest with you. I don't remember. I remember a little bit about this movie. I saw like bits and clips of it, but I don't know. I've never actually seen this one. I mean, I do remember Christopher Moltisanti quoting it in an episode of Sopranos, but other than that, I don't remember much about this movie. Sorry. With honors. Okay, this movie I absolutely remember. Okay, so this might be, obviously other than, Goodfellas and Casino, this actually shows that Joe Pesci, the guy's a real actor. So definitely one of my favorite performances by Joe Pesci and definitely his most underrated. Convinced his thesis will have him graduate with honors from Harvard University, a stuffy student finds himself at the mercy of a homeless man's demands when he holds the papers hostage. Sounds cheesy, but it's actually really good. Brendan Fraser plays the student who, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Mr. Fraser, I feel sorry for you, man. I know you got to give $900,000 every year to your ex. It pains me every time to say that. I feel your pain, man. That's all I'm saying. You got Joe Pesci, obviously in there, playing the homeless man. Does a great job. Has some really good, heartfelt speeches and moments in there. It's actually a really good performance. Moira Kelly, Patrick Dempsey, Josh Hamilton, Gore Vidal. Nice little cast of people. It's a really good little movie. Nothing too spectacular, but I felt Joe Pesci gave a really good performance in this one. I've seen this one a quite a few times, and I always enjoyed it. So if you want to see Joe Pesci in something other than him being a gangster and really showing off his acting chops, definitely check out this movie. And we have to go back to the gangster flicks. Of course we do. Of course we do. 1995, a little movie called Casino, where he played Nicky Santoro, which again was not the real character's name. You're gonna have to find out that name for yourself. I'm no snitch, but again, excellent movie. Now, a lot of people always say that it's Joe Pesci playing kind of the same guy again. Fuck off. I mean, dude, he was great in this. But one question you always have to ask yourself is, who's tougher, Tommy or Nicky? If those two went head to head in their prime, who would kill who first? I'm just saying. I mean, that is definitely up for debate. But again, you got Robert De Niro in there, Sharon Stone, fucking phenomenal job in that. James Woods, just awesome. She definitely deserved the Academy Award for that one. Yeah, that was phenomenal. I mean, she was just she was by far the best actor or actress. I don't know what you say these days. I don't know. The best performance in the movie, that's for sure. But this is an excellent movie. Again, about 3 hours. So brace yourself. Again, if you're not used to the length of a good Martin Scorsese movie, then I just feel sorry for you. I really do. But the story must be told the proper way. And a lot of people would say, oh, yeah, you don't need this part in here. You don't need this part in here. Yeah, you do. I like these little details. I like the details that Robert De Niro goes around the table and, he has to have certain things his way. Stack the chips properly. Okay? That's it. I like little things like that. I do. Nicky Santoro, the little details. He does all this fucking crazy shit, but yet he still goes home and makes pancakes for his kid. Despite what you want to say, he's a good father. I mean, what can I tell you? I don't know. But, But the one funny thing I will always remember about this movie is, obviously one, I mean, it's a great, classic movie. You get to see, Marty, Robert, and Joe team up again. But the great thing about this movie is the editing process. And again, you should never edit a great movie even for TV. And I get it. Nowadays, you can stream anything. But back then, you put a movie on TV that's 3 hours, it could literally get cut down to 2, because of all the violence and swearing. And it makes you wonder, why'd you even bother putting this movie on TV? So, for example, okay, I'm going to show you one scene that's the actual movie. And then I'm going to show you the edited version of this movie. So first, we'll start off with the actual scene from the movie, unedited, the way it should be.
Where the fuck you get off talking to people about me behind my back going over my head?
What people?
What people would you think? I wasn't gonna find out?
I don't even know what you're talking about, Nick.
No, you said I'm bringing heat on you? I gotta listen to people because of your fucking shit? You're ordering me out? You better get your own fucking army, pal.
I didn't do anything. I mean, I didn't order you or anybody. I only told Andy Stone that you had a lot of heat on you, and that was a problem.
You want me to get out of my own fucking town?
Yeah, I said let the bullshit blow over for a while so I can run the casino. Anything goes wrong with the casino, it's my ass. It's not yours, it's my ass.
I don't know whether you know this or not, but you only have your fucking casino because I made that possible. I'm what counts out here. Not your fucking country clubs or your fucking TV shows. And what the fuck are you doing on TV anyhow? I get calls from back home every fucking day. They think you went batshit.
I'm only on TV because I gotta be able to hang around a casino. You understand that?
You're
You know that.
fucking
Come on.
ass. You could have had the food and beverage job without going on television. You wanted to go on TV.
Yeah, I did want to go on TV. That way I have a forum. I can fight back. I'm known. People see me. They know they can't fuck around me like they could if I was an unknown. That's right.
You're making a big fucking spectacle of yourself.
Me? I wouldn't even be in this situation if it wasn't for you. You brought down so much fucking heat on me, and every time I meet somebody, the big question is, do I know you?
Oh, sure. Now you want to bring your fucking license on me.
No,
is that it?
Nicky, when you asked me if you could come out here, what did I tell you? I mean, you asked me, and I knew you were going to come out no matter what I said, but what did I tell you? Do you remember what I told you?
Back
Do you
up,
remember
back
what
up
I
a
told
fucking
you?
minute here. 1 minute. I asked you, when the fuck did I ever ask you if I could can come out here. Get this through your head,
You never-
Get this through your head, you Jew motherfucker, you. You only exist out here because of me. That's the only reason. Without me, you, personally, every fucking wise guy still around, I'll take a piece of your fucking Jew ass. That's where you're gonna go. You're fucking warned. Don't ever go over my fucking head again. You motherfucker, you.
Now, what was wrong with that scene? Absolutely nothing. Now, listen to the exact same scene edited on Bravo.
Where do you get off talking to people about me behind my back going over my head?
What people?
What people would you think I wasn't gonna find out?
I don't even know what you're talking about, Nick.
No, you said I'm bringing heat on you? I gotta listen to people because of your lousy heat? You're ordering me out? You better get your own fighting army, pal.
I didn't do anything. I mean, I didn't order you or anybody. I only told Andy Stone that you had a lot of heat on you, and that was a problem.
You want me to get out of my own freaking town?
Yeah, I said, let the stuff blow over for a while so I can run the casino. Anything goes wrong with the casino, it's my act. It's not yours, it's my act.
I don't know whether you know this or not, but you only have your lousy casino because I made that possible. I'm what counts out here. Not your fancy country clubs or your fancy TV shows. And what the heck are you doing on TV anyhow? You know, I get calls from back home every single day. They think you went back
I'm
so.
only on TV because I gotta be able to hang around a casino. You understand that?
You
You know that.
stupid
Come
jerk.
on.
You could have had the food and beverage job without going on television. You wanted to go on TV.
Yeah, I did want to go on TV. That way I have a forum. I can fight back. I'm known. People see me. They know they can't fool around with me like they could if I was an unknown. That's right,
You're making
yeah.
a big fool of spectacle of yourself.
Me, I wouldn't even be in this situation if it wasn't for you. You brought down so much stinking heat on me, and every time I meet somebody here, the big question is, do I know you?
Oh, sure. Now
What do
you
I-
want to bring your filthy license on me.
No,
eh?
Nikki, when you asked me if you could come out here, what did I tell you? I mean, you asked me, and I knew you were going to come out no matter what I said, but what did I tell you? Do you remember what I told you? Do you remember what I told you?
Wait a minute. I asked you, when the heck did I ever ask you if I could come out here? Get this through your head,
You
you.
never-
Get this through your head, you Jew money lover, you. You only exist out here because of me. That's the only reason. Without me, you, personally, every lousy wise guy still around, I'll take a piece of your filthy Jew act. That's where you're gonna go. You're being warned. Don't ever go over my head again, you stupid sucker, you.
Look, where do I begin? I mean, every single day. I mean, but like, how bad was it to watch movies in like the 90s or like even the thousands? Holy cow! And yes, he said, "Money lover, you." I mean, like, who edited that? Like Mel Gibson? Like, I mean, like, what the fuck, man? Like, listen, thank God for like Netflix and On Demand and all these other channels. You can watch the movie unedited. I mean, you know, so like, this generation, you know, you guys should know like all the shit that we had to go through just to watch a single movie, you know, on TV with commercials. And I guess you got more commercials on YouTube now, but still, I mean, it was just fucking brutal. But again, overall, what I'm trying to say is Casino, it's an awesome movie. It really is. Again, I don't want to give a lot away. So forward the next minute if, you know, you only hear the spoiler alert, whatever. But what ended up happening to Joe Pesci's character at the end of the movie, he was thrown in a cornfield, but they didn't beat him up in the cornfield. What happened was they lured him into a house, him and his brother, and yeah, they beat the shit out of him. It was pretty brutal like that. But I mean, if you think that they're going to pull this shit off in broad daylight in the middle of a hot summer day in a cornfield, you know, it's not going to happen. I mean, they probably dumped the bodies at nighttime, whatever. But yeah, I mean, but for the most part, I mean, the movie's pretty accurate. I mean, there's a couple things that they, you know, changed, obviously, the name and all that. But I mean, it's still an amazing movie. So again, you like Joe Pesci, you like Robert De Niro, you love Martin Scorsese movies, you will absolutely love Casino. What you absolutely will not love is Eight Heads in a Duffel Bag. This movie is fucking stupid. I tried watching a couple clips. Spade, I love you, but I mean, yeah, I just couldn't do it, man. Sorry. Gone Fishing, holy fuck, this is even worse. For some reason, my dad likes this movie. I have no idea why. I mean, he even bought it on DVD. Again, I have no idea why. But again, this is the same guy who likes the Green Lantern movie. So I don't know, go figure. But again, Lethal Weapon 4, I didn't mind it. I thought it was all right. I mean, pretty much introduced me to Jet Li, so that was pretty cool. I always say Jet Li plays a better bad guy than he does good guy. He just, I don't know, he just nails it. I don't know. He's like John Lithgow. Like, John Lithgow's funny, but I don't know, he always plays a better bad guy. But, yeah, you know, Joe Pesci had a nice little speech at the end there for Mel Gibson. Yeah, so apparently they're going to make another one. So, yeah, let's see what happens. Will Joe Pesci be in it? I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, all these guys, I don't know, they're 60s, 70s. I mean, most cops retire, you know, in their early 50s or whatever, get a good pension. I don't know what the fuck they're trying to prove, but anyways, I don't know. Good luck, Mel. Joe Pesci, wise guy. Yeah, this is actually, yeah, this actually exists. This is actually Joe Pesci. Not only, you know, he's a pretty decent singer, I think, but can he rap? I mean, so at this point, you know, after he did this, it's time to retire. I mean, once you start rapping, yeah, that's it, man. But you know, he came back for a little bit after. He came back, you know, for The Good Shepherd. Decent little movie. I mean, good little cast. I mean, it got mixed reviews when it came out. I mean, I talked about it before, but you know, it's a decent little movie. It's all right. Love Ranch. I never saw. I don't know. Didn't get the best reviews, but you know, if you want, check it out. It's up to you. A Warrior's Tale. Again, never even heard of this. He just did the voice. You know, quick little voiceover work. Easy money. Oh, you see what I did there? Okay. Oh, that was good. Okay. Google Assistant, Home Alone again. Yep. They made a commercial on Home Alone and growing up. And yeah, they put Pesci in there for a little bit. And yeah, why not? Again, you know, good money. I didn't say it again. And the last movie he ever did, and it looks like it will be the last movie he ever did, was in 2019, a little movie called The Irishman. And once again, people were bitching and complaining that it's too long and these guys should have acted together sooner and blah, 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 blah. Everybody fucking complains about everything, every little fucking thing. But this movie was great. Was it long as fuck? Absolutely. It's a Martin Scorsese movie. Now, of course, because of COVID, it got, well, actually, no. It was going to be a Netflix movie anyway, so I don't think it really affected it anyway, but I don't know anybody that saw this movie in theaters. I mean, everyone just, you know, sat at home and watched it. Obviously, you know, took a couple pisses and maybe one shit, but that's it. You know, you just enjoy the movie as is. That's all, you know. It was just great to see these guys again for one last time. And again, it pains me to say that. It really does. I hope it's not the last time, but you know, Lethal Weapon 5, who knows? But anyways, yeah, maybe De Niro will make an appearance in that. Who knows? I don't know. But again, look at this cast, guys. You got De Niro, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, Harvey Keitel, Bobby Cannavale, Ray Romano. I know, right? But he was good in it. Anna Paquin, Stephen Graham, who got a free dinner from Joe Pesci. That's awesome. Jack Huston, Stephanie Kurt Zuba, Catherine Narducci, Jesse Plemons, Dominic Labardozzi. I mean, just tons of great people, guys. Even Action Bronson makes an appearance, you know, selling... well, I'm not going to give away the movie if you haven't seen it, but I'm just saying, you know, great movie, guys. I mean, a lot of people say, okay, you know, it's, they disagree on how Jimmy Hoffa actually died, and that's still in the air. That's still talked about to this day. I mean, obviously, we all saw the Jack Nicholson movie back in the day, but, you know, it gives a little mystery. What are you going to do? But overall, guys, you know, in the end, I don't care when I watch a movie, how realistic is it? Like, did it entertain me? And it did. This one absolutely did. So again, it was, if it is the last time I see these guys all together, so be it. I mean, this is a good way to go out. Absolutely. So 3 hours and 29 minutes. Again, between this and Once Upon a Time in America, you're going to have a pretty busy weekend. So, yeah, guys, I hate to see Joe Pesci go. I really do. But, what are you going to do? He's a hard guy to reach, apparently. That's what I've heard. And I heard a funny story one time. Louis C.K., yeah, I know what he did. I get it. I still think Louis is a great fucking show. But anyways, he wanted him for the show Horace and Pete, and somehow he got his number, and he pissed off Joe Pesci because he's like, "How'd you get this number? Who gave you this number?" Like he was just, shit, it's crazy. I would never call Joe Pesci. I don't know what the fuck is he capable of. I really don't know. I'm still scared of him. I don't give a shit. But to me, Joe Pesci has always been a cool dude, and he has absolutely made his mark in this business. And will we see him again? Who knows? Never say never. I mean, he retired over 20 years ago, then he came back for some movies. So if the right part comes along, there's a good chance we might see Spit Shine Tommy. Oh yeah. He made your shoes look like fucking mirrors. Made a lot of money too. But the real name, the real man, the legend, hopefully one day we will see again, Mr. Joe Pesci.
It's a bitch's daddy kitchen. It's a bitch's daddy kitchen. It's a bitch's daddy kitchen. Hey, fade out my ass. Treat all the bras like trash. You'll catch your blast if you move too fast. I talk class, and you don't have to ask. Getting everything by flashing cash. Right next to him, don't kill without feeling. So I went in casino before they started dealing. All about respect and intellect. Only mess with the women that pick up the check.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Motherfucking you fucking piece of shit!